It's funny. There's still people out there that want to argue who won in the SEC versus Ripple. In true, both sides lost components of that case. But overall, who won? It's an avalanche. It's as clear as day. That was a sweeping victory by Ripple. We have this article here where attorney Patrick Doherty, he's a partner at Foley and Laudner LLP, and he runs their innovation technology sector, the area of their practice that deals with digital assets, Web3, and NFT issues. He said the following: both parties lost motions they may want to appeal. The ruling on secondary trades, which favored Ripple, is perhaps the most significant. I like to upgrade that to not perhaps. It was the key issue of this whole court case. And even more so than just Ripple versus the SEC, it harms the SEC, so much in all of their other cases. It's a key loss for the SEC because it takes the wind out of the SEC sails in its other cases where tokens are trading on exchanges, especially if they've been trading there for years. So if they're going after Coinbase or Kraken or Binance, this ain't a good ruling. Doherty added that there's no real guidance in the injunction that was handed down to Ripple either. So remember, the SEC got a general injunction, basically prohibits Ripple from breaking securities law again. We all have that, whether we've been sued by the SEC or not. Now make no mistake, if they go back to court after this injunction came down and it's found they broke security law, there's no whoops, I'm sorry's here. It adds an element of risk, but it doesn't give the SEC much power. And more important than Ripple, who really had the sweeping victory, the crypto user and investor said, look, your tyrannical, reign over XRP trading on the secondary market and, analogous coins, that's over with. You have no authority over this unless Congress does their job and writes some laws, which is fine. If we know the rules of the road and you're not just making it up as you go along, hey, that's something we can operate, under that type of framework. I'm excited about this bull run for a lot of reasons. And XRP, I think, is going to do quite well, shock a lot of people. First and foremost, I think the way you will see a lot of big money investing in this space is through sectors. There are going to be ETFs that allow you to invest in the broader crypto space. They're going to start thinking about, what's the functionality of these various crypto assets? What's their utility? What's their purpose? So I think when we look at XRP, there will be, payment sector ETFs. And when you look at the various coins or assets in that sector, XRP is the runaway victor in that, would be the number one. Another way they can classify crypto assets is the currency sector. These coins that act more as a currency rather than something like Ethereum or Cardano that's about the programmability. And when we look at the currency sector, this would be things like Bitcoin, XRP, XLM, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. In my opinion, XRP would be slated number 2 there. So, a lot of these various ETFs that will roll out in these various sectors of cryptocurrency, XRP is going to be either the top asset or the number 2 within that basket of assets. You can see a lot of money flowing in just for that reason. It's like the S&P 500, how much money flows into your top stocks because people just, throw money in there and it's weighted. And so the most money goes to your Microsofts and your Apples and, on down the way. When we do get regulations, and in my mind, they're going to start with stable coins, but they're going to roll off to, altcoins and crypto assets. XRP is going to make the cut. Ripple's going to do what needs to be done. If they need to file quarterly reports or whatever, they're going to do that. They're going to follow the law. There are going to be some coins that are on the outside looking in. They'll trade internationally, but they won't trade in the United States. I don't know initially how many coins make that cut. I guess 20, 30, maybe more, but it's going to be limited. Now, for this exact moment we find here, why I'm excited about XRP, look, this is the first bull run where you get direct US liquidity. I think it's going to make a world of difference. We have new functionality. First and foremost, the most important, kind of key contributor here to value, I believe, will be that stablecoin and AMMs. AMMs are going to add a lot of on-chain liquidity as you can easily trade between XRP and stablecoin dollars. And further, I think it's going to allow issued assets and other builders effectively grow their projects and their user bases. There's this time early on when you're not big enough to go on an exchange, like Coinbase ain't listing you, Kraken ain't listing you, and you need that on-chain liquidity to effectively grow up liquidity and user base and scale your systems. And I think we can do that now in a much more efficient way. And I think lastly, and it's the most simplistic way of looking at things, 2021, things were not better off. We had a court case, a lot of risk. When you compared that to the excitement of 17, of course we underperformed. That's an awful environment to operate in. When we look at now, a lot of stuff has improved. Our legal position, of course, XRP has been deemed by a judge to not be a security, free to trade on the open market. You have new features. You have exciting components like stablecoins. I think we're going to see that play out in the price action of XRP. There's a lot of really exciting sectors of cryptocurrencies, whether we're talking about AI, dApps, NFTs, gaming, you can pick anywhere that you find interesting. To me, though, payments, currencies, these are important and foundational to cryptocurrency's mission. They're really the genesis use case of crypto assets. And so I think any sensible crypto investor is going to want these assets in their portfolios. Is everything perfect with XRP or Ripple? Absolutely not. But if you really want to poke into most ecosystems, if not all of them, they all have things to work on, to improve, hurdles to overcome. This is just part of life, isn't it? Daniel made a good point on X today. There's been a lot of chatter going around that, XRP is going to go up, and now these reserves you have to have just to have a wallet, and the XRP reserve you need just to deal in stable coins and other issued assets. You got to lock up XRP for that, and for NFTs, people are like, XRP is going to go up so much that regular folks won't be able to use it. Daniel reminds us, look, if that happens and it's over a period of time, they're just going to lower the reserve. And we've seen this happen before. We see these kind of clownish ideas come around from time to time. There is never going to be a time when you want to make XRP expensive and unusable by the everyday person. It's counterproductive to the vision of the XRP ledger, and it just ain't going to happen. Those things can be adjusted. And furthermore, I went over this tirade about trust lines, in my last video. But at least let's get away from that reserve cost where you have to lock up XRP just if you want to hold stablecoins or other issued assets. We don't want to put roadblocks and barriers in front of people. I know people are going to say, well, this is an anti-spam feature. There's plenty of ways you can spam the ledger if you want to burn through transactional fees. Let's onboard people. Let's make this easy. Let's make it cheap and efficient. We don't need to lock up XRP just because you might want to use a stable coin. It's not the end of the world, but I think it could vastly improve. We want to onboard people here. We don't want to agitate people. Just my opinion. People got really bad about that video of mine. I want important and valuable features to be used. And if the XRP ledger has a really important advantage compared to other blockchains, let's press that. Let's get people rocking and rolling with this sucker. And, I think that will show up also in the coin's value. Not the end of the world if they don't, but I really think they can lower that reserve fee, hopefully to zero. Let's have people be using the ledger for its highest and best capability, and I think that's what we all want. Lastly, the announcement that XLR integration with XRP ledger to enable EVM sidechains may come Q4 of this year. It's a multi-chain future, and you know what? I'm going to do a full video on this, but as a sneak peek, I did an article talking about Flare and Near. And what's interesting, these are both projects that Ripple invested in. And they solve a lot of problems that I think the XRP ledger long-term needs solved. The interoperability problems, the bridging problems, the abstraction problem, making things easy and simple. They're working on that. And, I think we could see a lot of that technology make its way to the XRP ledger and really throughout blockchain to make this whole space much more usable. So I'll link that article down below. Check it out. Pretty interesting stuff here. And I will follow up talking about those two projects too, what I believe are going to be heavyweights. Of course, Near is a much higher market cap coin, but both are going to be important for the future of cryptocurrencies, doing really compelling work. And, I don't think it's an accident that Ripple invested in both of them. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.